Hi there, Matt here. Hope you're okay. So today we're going to look at sewing patterns, and I know they're quite daunting sometimes. All the patterns and the symbols and like what the hell do they mean? Um, I know when I started, I completely cut the patterns out wrong, laid it out on the fabric wrong, and end up with a complete mess. So I just want to go over a few things and talk to you the different elements of the pattern, and hopefully um, you can understand them a little bit better. So we'll start with the envelope. Quite often the envelope is similar to all different pattern companies. So you have the company name at the top and a pattern code, and then you have some designs of the garment that's going to be made. You may also have the size at the top and the figure type. It sometimes says on it somewhere, not on this pattern, the complexity of it. So maybe for a beginner, an easy one up to an advanced one. My first pattern that I sewn was an advanced one. Like I say, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Turn it over. Again, you see you have a pattern code, and you have a couple of diagrams here of how the two, in this example, dresses will look. You have a list of suggested fabrics here. You also have a section here on notions, for example, zippers or buttons that you might need, and then a section on body measurements. Now, before you do anything with the pattern, you need to take the measurements of the person who's going to wear your garment. This is pretty essential, else it's not going to fit. So your pattern size is a lot different to your ready-to-wear size. So if you go into a shop, you might be a size 14, but on the pattern it might be a size 16. So it's very essential that you take the measurements of the person who's going to wear the garment and then try and figure out what size you need. So take, for example, on this one, you have to take the bust, the waist, the hip, and the neck to waist measurement. Now, I would go a little bit larger because then you can always bring it in if it's a bit too big. If it's too small, it's a lot harder to make something look a bit bigger. So work out what your measurements are, and then once you've decided what size you're going to make the garment, you can then see how much material you need to buy. So for example, if I'm making a garment for a size 18, so you have different choices here. If you have a 45-inch wide fabric or a 60-inch wide fabric, it gives you the measurements of the material that you need for that. So for a size 18, I would need 4 5/8 of a yard of fabric if it was a 45-inch wide fabric. If it's a 60-inch wide fabric, I only need 3 yards of fabric. The envelope may also mention other materials that you need, and in this example, it tells you that you need some interfacing and also some bias binding. It also gives you the measurements with or without nap. Now, the nap refers to a fabric that has a weave or a pile in one direction, like velvet or corduroy. So you'd need to cut that all in the same direction so it doesn't look odd. So let's see what's inside the envelope. So you have your pattern sheets on tissue paper and a set of instruction sheets. So let's look at the instruction sheets first. So again, you have the company name at the top and the code, and you have diagrams of the different styles of the dress, the front and the back. You also have some diagrams of all the pieces you need, and it also has a list here of the pieces you need for each style. So you can see here that from 1 to 11 you need all these pieces for both styles. You need a bow for style A, and a neck binding, armhole binding, and bow for B. Then at the bottom here you have different cutting layouts which show show you the most economic way to lay out your pattern pieces onto the fabric, so you're not wasting any fabric. Now you have to take care when you look at the pattern, because some pieces are meant to go on the fold, and some pieces may need to be on just one piece of fabric rather than two. So take care when you place your pattern pieces onto your fabric. Make sure you're following the instructions. And then of course you have the instructions to tell you what you're doing. So step-by-step guide to what you're doing, and diagrams to help you as well. So moving on to the actual pattern. Now this looks all a bit confusing. It looks like a blueprint for a building or something. And they are quite big, so you need quite a big space to lay this out on your fabric. So, I mean, the floor is useful, or a dining table if you have a dining table. So this is quite a big. I'm getting lost here. This is quite a big pattern. I'm here somewhere. Right, let me find a decent bit to show you. So you see you have all these lines here. So when we took our measurements earlier, we decided I'm a size 18. So you'll find the line here for size 18, the biggest size. So you want to cut along this line. Now you can either cut the pattern out, but if you're going to make it in a different size, then you can trace the pattern out onto some pattern paper. Follow these lines for your size and cut or trace that out. On here it tells you that you need two pieces of this, so you need to cut it out on the folded piece of fabric, so you get two pieces, opposite images of each other. So this line here, that shows you the grain line. So you need to place your pattern piece along the grain line of the fabric, parallel to the selvage of the fabric, so the edge of the fabric. And you can see that size 18 comes down here, and you would follow it around, and they kind of merge into each other. And then there's a single line for all the pieces there. Now, I've done a quick little video of some of the symbols that you might see on the pattern video, so have a look at that now. And there you go. Hopefully that's been helpful. If you want to download the PDF guide to some of the pattern symbols, it should be on the website somewhere. If you have any comments or suggestions, then please let us know, and we'll see you soon. Bye.